Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Madmen show. I am your host, Alec Ryer, here with Sir Mashed Potato Wells today.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. It's 10 p.m. on the East Coast, Brady. It's only 7 p.m. on the West Coast.
I know.
It's way past morning, even for us. Even for us. We got a good show for you today. We have a little something different going on. We have mid-season MVPs along with top rookie performances of the season to go along with our Week 8 rewind that we usually do on Wednesdays. But we decided we wanted to mix it up a little bit and do some MVPs for you guys. Just guys that we think have outperformed what they were projected to do, or where they were being drafted. In our cases, for me and Brady's.
Were they even
Well,
being drafted?
for actually all of them, Brennan's as well. But anyways, guys, follow us on Twitter at MadmenFF. You can find our shows on YouTube.com/FFMadmen. Like our page on Facebook. And we do have a winner for the giveaway, and that will be announced at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Yeah, you get a mini football helmet of your choice, so that's gonna be real cool. Let's get into the news, Brady. There was lots of trade rumors this
I know. There's
on Monday.
Pulling my hair out.
There was so many trying to keep track of.
All the Jets apparently were on the block. Literally every single Jet player.
Every Jet was available, which was dumb. Though I would have loved to see Jamal Adams in Dallas. That would have been incredible. I love Jamal Adams.
Good. That would have been awesome.
Murphy's trying to play fetch right now, so if you guys see his toy coming up on the screen, I apologize. The mascot doesn't realize that I'm a little busy. All right, Murph. No, you don't care. Okay. Anyways, Kenyon Drake was the one guy that was really moved fantasy-wise. He's a running back. A trade to the Arizona Cardinals, who were having running back issues, Brady.
They're hurt, but yeah. But I mean, this is like, we're hoping Kenyon Drake got traded to someone where he would have had value, and once David Johnson comes back, he's not going to have any value. So
the real question is if he comes back. I saw a lot of people, fantasy people on Twitter, talking about this could mean David Johnson's going to be out, more long term. Chase Edmonds could be out long term, or there was even a rumor that DJ would get traded before the deadline, but we know that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think David comes back. Because they've already said Chase Edmonds is out, but they haven't said any, like, they've said David Johnson's game time. You can only be game time decisions so many weeks in a row before you come back.
Yeah, well, they said that 2 weeks ago, and he had one carry, and then Chase Edmonds took over.
Yes, so. I know. Been frustrating.
I mean, he has the Thursday game, so it's not like he has all week to recover.
No, but he has all next week. So, I don't think he plays this week.
You think he's out this week?
Kenyon plays this week, yes. It looks like it's Kenyon and friends.
Yeah, who is the other friend? That's
I don't know.
DJ Foster.
They've come out and said it's going to be running back by committee. So
yeah, they say he's going to have a manageable. Yeah, he says he's going to have a manageable workload. Murph, I don't want to play. I'm sorry. I'm doing something. He's being very
Murphy. Being very Murphy.
Yeah, he's being very Murphy. So. Anyway, I think Kenyon Drake is a good fit for the Cardinals. He's a good pass catcher. He doesn't duck when the ball comes to you like Kalen Ballage. He's shown he's a good pass catcher. He can run the ball fairly well. He's averaging in his career over 4 yards a carry. Not so much this season, but if you look at that offensive line in Miami, it's absolutely awful. I wouldn't blame that entirely on him.
Right.
But yeah, I think it could be a good fit.
For a few weeks.
Rest of season outlook, it just depends on the David Johnson situation.
Yeah.
But on to other news, Andy Dalton has been benched after a really, they lost by, 14? It was 24-10. So yeah, 14. Looked really good. Threw over 300 yards.
Again.
Hit a touchdown.
Not new.
But he got benched for 4th round pick Ryan Finley.
Yeah, that's on his birthday.
He got benched on his birthday.
He's the 4th leading passer in terms of yardage in the NFL. So I don't think he was the problem, but
no.
I don't know what they're doing with him. Well, I don't think he stays, but after this season, he's not going to be a Bengal. which is kind of annoying. Like to bench him, like
Yeah.
it would be better for him to play the rest of the season so for him, so others can see what he has. They're not gonna use Ryan Finley, I don't think, going forward. So I don't know. This is a
Unless
weird
Ryan
move.
Finley comes out and puts on a Gardner Minshew type performance, I don't see it happening.
Maybe. Right.
Um,
I don't know.
but it's like Miami's like, oh, no one can tank like us, and the Bengals are like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. They play each other week 16. It's gonna be
That's going to be
ridiculous.
an interesting game.
It's gonna be an awesome.
Other Bengal
crazy game.
news: AJ Green is running.
He was seen running.
He was not just seen running. He was seen running team drills for the first time this season, which is good news for AJ Green owners and
Not necessarily AJ Green. I don't know what he's gonna do.
well, the pass catchers took a huge hit with the news of Finley starting.
We think, yeah.
I mean, he was a good passer at NC State. It's not like he was
Yeah.
bad. It's just this quarterback draft was, or this like quarterback, the quarterback class was pretty deep this year. Like Finley was rumored to be a first round pick and then slid because of how people jumped him at the combine. So it's not like Ryan Finley was ever like not on people's draft boards because he's awful. Like
he's not bad. It's just like I don't know. I don't think they're gonna get much better because Dalton was playing so well. That's the other thing.
That's
Dalton
what surprised
was playing well. And how is it gonna get better with Finley when the biggest problem was their offensive line?
Yeah, and that's why you can't really put it on Dalton this year. Like Dalton struggled the last couple seasons, but looking back on
this year,
his offensive line has just been terrible for all of those seasons.
Oh yeah, it's been awful.
Their first round pick, Jonah Williams, was out for the season before the season even started. So there goes your first round left tackle. So you don't even know how that's going to work out. So they got him coming back next year, so that's good news. But
yeah, I think next year they're actually going to be a little surprising because I actually like what Zach Taylor has shown us. Because I think they can actually move the ball and score a ton of points. Because obviously Andy's done well with no offensive line. So if they can continue that with a better offensive line and get Joe Mixon involved next year, this team might actually be kind of good.
Yeah. On to other news, Brady. I had to put this one in there just if you noticed.
I almost deleted it.
I figured you would, but you didn't. And you noticed I kept it together. Like Chicago, Chicago is cursed, and that's with a K because cursed with a K because no one in Chicago can kick a football to win a game. Not. Hey, at least it wasn't a doink.
He doinked earlier.
He doinked earlier. So would it have been worse? I saw this question on a news report. Would it have been worse if he had doinked, if he had hit the post?
I don't think. Maybe, but
see, I think it would have been worse because it's just like it's Cody Parkey all over again.
That's so frustrating.
Yikes. Other quarterback news: Joe Flacco is out for Week 9. They haven't decided if he's going to go on IR or not, but I'm like 85% sure he will end up on IR.
Yeah.
Come Saturday, Sunday. So Brandon Allen, I believe he's like a third-year quarterback out of Arkansas, if not second-year quarterback out of Arkansas.
Yeah. He is at Arkansas.
You know how good I am with that stuff, Brady.
Where do I know his name? Oh, well, I've heard his name. I'm like, where do I know?
I think Kyle Allen was also Arkansas. I might be getting them two confused.
No, Kyle Allen was A&M. He was ahead of Kyler Murray.
Really?
Yeah, that was the Cardinals-Panthers game was like a big deal.
Oh.
Kyler Murray left A&M because Kyle Allen won the job.
Yeah, A&M's kicking themselves for that one. Well, now their coach is at Arizona, so what does that say?
Yep.
Anyways, but I feel like he might be put on IR because Drew Lock has been cleared by doctors to play. So
bring on Lock.
Drew Lock has Elway type potential with that monstrous arm that he showed at Mizzou. Second round pick. Was projected top 10 by some draft experts. Like I thought he was going to go at number 9 to the Broncos. So, and then they traded down, and I was like, well, they're going to lose out on a quarterback. Nope, they took Noah Fant in the first round, but they got Locke. They got their quarterback in the second round, which was very surprising. It'd be interesting. I would like to see Locke, but I would also not like to see Locke because
I want to see Locke.
Well, it's because of the offensive line.
Yeah, I know it's bad.
Broncos played the Chiefs on Thursday a couple weeks ago, and they gave up 9 sacks to the Chiefs' defense without Frank Clark, Christian. Like their entire defense was hurt, and they still gave up 9 sacks. I just don't want to see Drew Lockett
You don't
absolutely
want to see him
pounded.
get hurt. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
after
want to see some games with him and Cortland Sutton because that seems to be where this franchise is going. And if that is good, especially just next season implications and the rest of the season a little bit, but if that's a nice connection, that's a lot of fantasy points. Maybe.
Yeah, I agree. But a lot of draft experts coming in next year with next year's quarterback class. They have the
Yeah,
Broncos taking another
taking
quarterback
another
in the
quarterback.
first
Yeah,
round.
I know. Everybody thinks it's like you have to have this quarterback that'll fix all your problems, and these teams keep getting good, what they think are good quarterbacks. They have no offensive line, and then look at what the Patriots did. They have a good quarterback, but they still can block for him.
I mean,
Only
Gardner
and it,
Minshew is a prime example, 6th-round pick,
yeah, and they can block in
and
Jacksonville.
they can block. And he's been good. He's got 13 touchdowns and
Yeah,
2 interceptions.
he's never done. He hasn't like I know there's this Minshew magic, and he's kind of done some stuff special. But I mean, numbers wise, he's at 250, nothing crazy, a touchdown or two a game. That's it. And they're winning because they've got the defense, they've got the offensive line, they got running backs, got talented receivers. It's not just a quarterback. Oh, we got to draft a quarterback.
Anyway, speaking of the Jaguars, I bring up Gardner Minshew. DJ Chark and D.D. Westbrook were both listed as questionable and were limited at practice today. DJ Chark with a quad injury, and D.D. left last week's game with a shoulder injury. So he only took I think he had 1 target all of last. Yeah, 1 target and a carry. I know he fumbled, so because I know he had -1 points.
He was returning a punt,
Oh,
I believe, when that happened. Yep. Limited by quad. It's just limited Wednesday, so there's not much you can say about Chark yet, because limited Wednesday is normal for a lot of players. I'd have to look at Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. But that's the news so far. We'll definitely have more news on Saturdays when we do our in and outs for injury updates. But let's get into the rerun, Brady. We can start with Thursday night's game. We kind of went over it on Saturday, so
yeah, we did.
Nothing
it wasn't
new.
Anything crazy.
Yeah, it was a very. I mean, this was probably
it's
one of the
expected,
vomit games of the year, of the week,
yeah.
Which is surprising because Minnesota's looked so good on offense, and this just kind of shows that the Redskins' defense actually isn't that bad.
They're not that bad, but I mean, once they got ahead, they just kept running it with Cook, and then the game ended.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. I think the biggest news out of this one was Adrian Peterson is now 6th all time in rushing, passing LaDainian Tomlinson. Now it's 13,701 rushing yards. Past LT. That's probably one of my favorite running backs of all time is LT. Watching that guy play was nuts.
When I started fantasy, was when LT was big, and LT and Clinton Portis, 2 big running backs. Here we are now.
Yeah. But on to new and better things. There's Dalvin Cook coming up, Zeke, Barkley. Those are the now big running backs, and Christian McCaffrey.
Come
well,
on.
I was trying to keep it mortal, and then I was going to get to the immortal.
Get to the immortal.
I was going to get to the immortal Christian McCaffrey. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to matchups next week.
Really, the Seahawks Falcons was 27-20.
Yeah, the Seahawks almost blew that game. It was 24-0 at one point.
I heard there was a weird play at the end that the Falcons kind of got screwed on too.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
I don't know. That might not have been. There was a close play at the end that they almost got the onside kick or something. It was odd.
Was it like the OU K-State game when they thought they had the onside kick, but then they didn't? It
was so stupid. Oh, it was a 50-50 call. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. He was clearly behind the 10-yard line. We all know that. But yeah, so Seahawks Falcons. Russ Wilson had 182 and 2 touchdowns. Kind of a weird offensive day, if you look at the numbers. Chris Carson only had 69% of snaps. Did have
20 carries.
Still had 20 carries, 90 yards and a touchdown. DK Metcalf had 3 catches for 13 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns.
The most targeted player in the red zone is DK Metcalf.
Well, that's because he's probably one of the most physical receivers in the NFL.
He's a beast, and that's why they drafted him.
I mean,
And that's how it's nice to see. This is why we drafted him, and they're exactly using him for why they drafted him. So he, in terms of fantasy relevance, those targets in the red zone are important, and he's definitely should be rostered and could be played. And you're like, man, I'm hoping for a touchdown, but I mean, in reality, you probably will get one.
yeah, he was definitely a sniper in this game
Yeah,
because I mean Tyler Lockett was six targets, 6 receptions for 100 yards. Exactly 100 yards, but no touchdowns. No touchdowns for poor Tyler Lockett. Rashad Penny, he got on the field 30% of snaps, 8 for 55, 6.9 yards a carry. So that
why did they miss this? This it was like it's gonna be Chris Carson, and now it's like, but what about Rashad Penny? Please just leave it at Chris Carson. Don't fool us.
well, Rashad Penny is actually pretty good. They spent a first round pick on him last season, so
I know.
it's like
I know he's good. It's just like just play Carson, so we don't have to like worry. Our Chris Carson owners don't have to worry about Rashad Penny stealing stuff.
yeah. The Falcons missed Matt Ryan in this game. I mean, I wouldn't say missed, but he missed the game. Matt Schaub showed out and threw 460 yards. Only had the one touchdown though. No fantasy real outlook there because Ryan. They've said Matt Ryan will be ready after the bye week this week, so week 10 be back to Matt Ryan. So no issues there. Julio Jones, 12 targets, 10 catches for 152. Kind of a confidence builder for Julio owners because of recent performances.
Yeah, you
I
knew
mean,
this was gonna come back to Julio was gonna come back and do this. Not necessarily with Matt Schaub, but Matt Schaub is still a serviceable backup for sure. So
oh yeah, I don't think he will play again this season. I mean,
no.
barring injury, of course, but I think Matt Ryan's was more of a precaution. And Schaub showed that he could play. So I mean, if they need to take another precaution game for Matt Ryan in a
Well,
season that
yeah,
they're not going to be doing well, I think they have one win all this season,
and they have one win
which
with all
is
this talent.
so crazy. Like,
They have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Freeman, Calvin Ridley, and Hooper. Like they're so talented, and they have one win.
yeah, Hooper even had another. He continued a good day, third touchdown in a row, at least one touchdown, third week in a row, 6 catches for 65 yards. So he's still,
Yeah, he seems locked in for like 5 or 6 catches above 50 yards, which is exactly what you want in a tight end, and then he's gonna keep scoring apparently. So it's even more points.
yeah, yeah. All right, Chargers Bears. Brady, I'm gonna let you take over for this one. This is your team.
I was so sad. Well, the Bears should have won this game, but Gordon finally scored. Goodness gracious, I need to put a thing here. Gordon scored 8 rushes, 31 yards, and a touchdown. And then he got 3 targets, 2 catches, and 3 yards. And then Eckler also
Yikes.
scored only three rushing attempts, only 3 yards, because he doesn't really run the ball, but two catches for 19 yards and a touchdown on 3 targets. I was really mad about Keenan Allen because I actually took him out of my lineup because it was like, hey, if he plays, it's going to be very limited, or not very limited, but at least a little limited. But he really wasn't limited. He looked like Keenan Allen, 7 catches, 53 yards on 10 targets, which kind of low for Keenan Allen, but still it's a lot. Robinson is the only relevant Bears player still. In my opinion, 5 catches, 62 yards, 7 targets, but Montgomery finally had his breakout game on 27 carries, which I didn't even think he ran the ball 27 times.
I didn't
For
know they could call
130,
27 running plays.
yeah, 135 yards and 1 touchdown. This was a running matchup like that. You're supposed to
I
run
was
the
like,
ball
the
against the
Chargers are one of the
Chargers.
worst rushing
They're
defenses in the league.
terrible.
So,
But he definitely had his breakout game. He also had 4 catches for 12 yards on 5 targets, so 31 total touches. If he gets 20 total touches, you love having that in Montgomery. And today was 31, or this past weekend was 31. So if that continues, then there's 2 Bears players that have fantasy relevance: Allen Robinson and David Montgomery. But for now, this might be one of those matchup games where Montgomery breaks out. And the flip side is against the Eagles, you do the literal opposite. Do not run the ball, pass the ball. So we'll see what he does going forward.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Brady, and I want you to be as unbiased as you possibly can be about the Bears. Who would you rather have rest of season? David Montgomery or James White?
James White.
David Montgomery or Austin Eckler?
Eckler.
Wow, I'm surprised. That's surprised with that last one for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd still take Eckler. He keeps scoring. The thing about the Bears too is I think I might be botching some of these numbers, but in the first half they ran 17 red zone plays, or maybe total game they ran 17 red zone plays. But I know in the first half they had 11 goal to go plays and they scored on 0 of them. 11 times. It was first, second, or third and goal, and they scored 0 touchdowns. So yeah, they should have absolutely won the game.
Gotta love that Bears offense, man.
They can't. It's not Mitchell. It wasn't Mitchell outside of the fourth quarter. It was play calling.
See, that seems like it's been the issue all season for the Bears.
Well, they play call very well to get to the red zone.
Well, they don't have anyone to throw to in the red zone. Like once they get to the red zone, the field shrinks. They don't use Shaheen properly.
No,
dude, if Shaheen was on the Patriots, he would be a top 10 tight end.
I know.
And that's not just because the Patriots system and they love tight ends. He's actually a really good tight end.
He's nuts. He's a nutty.
I would say the same thing about Burton. Trey Boo Boo.
Burton is okay. I mean,
the Bears just don't use tight ends.
Too. They keep running with Cordero Patterson in the goal line. It's just like,
yeah, they keep putting a wide receiver in the backfield.
I hate it. I can't stand it. Should have won the game. Mitchell drove it down, won the fans back over, and then Pinheiro missed his field goal. Let's go to the next game, please. It was tired.
Well, I mean, the Chargers have a new offensive coordinator. Ken Wisenhunt is out.
Thank God.
So we'll see what happens with Eckler and Gordon.
Gordon's the most. That'd be the biggest change, I think. I don't see Keenan Allen or Hunter Henry, who had a down-to-earth game against the Bears, which is normal, which we thought. But I think the most change is the Gordon Eckler situation. Who gets more touches?
Yeah. All right, Giants, Lions. Lions took this one 31-26. Stafford had 342 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I streamed Stafford. Yay!
I think he's a good. I think he's streamable for the rest of the season. Based off matchup, who you got, and who's on your roster. Stafford is a safe start pretty much every week. He's playing so well in that offense. Kenny Golladay had 2 of his touchdowns, 6 catches on 123 yards. Currently wide receiver 15. Brady, do you think he can crack that top 12 by the end of the season?
Yeah, he has 2 games where he was at 3 points, and that's the only thing keeping him back. Outside of that, he's above 15 points every game. So yeah, I think he rockets right on up.
Yeah, the one thing everyone was very disappointed at was the running back situation because
what the heck?
It appears to be a little bit of a committee kind of look, but I think that might change this week. It's still going to be a committee, but I think it's going to be more
committee.
It's going to be more Carson than Johnson. Like Johnson will be like 20% of the snaps. Carson will be like 50, and then McKissick will be at the other whatever's left.
Bro, McKissick was out snapping Johnson, not carry on Ty before the switch, and he was like he would outsnap him and run running plays. I was like, okay, why is that happening? I was like, man, McKissick's probably he might shine here, and then he did nothing. And it's what is it? Tra Carson. Whatever. I hate the Lions. This makes no sense.
NFC North. Of course you hate them. It's like saying you like the Packers.
Makes no sense.
Marvin Jones had a very underwhelming day. 4 catches for 22 yards. You can't really expect a lot from him in the future if Galladay's going to be playing this good as he's been playing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but if Stafford keeps playing like he is, I think
he's flexible.
Jones is still flexible.
He's flexible for sure.
He'll get he continues to get his looks, and he does have very high value fantasy looks.
He's not even the only Marvin on the team.
I know, it drives me nuts.
Marvin Hall, whoever the hell that is.
Yeah, he scored.
Did he score the other touchdown?
Yeah,
of course he did.
It was a bomb. Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah, he's their
And the crazy thing is their numbers are 11. I think Kenny's Marvin Hall's 17 and Kenny's like 19. So they're all like a 1 and not the traditional 80 numbers. They're in the tens.
Yeah. On to the Giants. Daniel Jones, 322 and 4 touchdowns. Career game for Daniel Jones, which is a little surprising. Darius Slay, he played, right?
He might have got hurt.
Oh, well, I know he was on the.
Wow, he was quarterback too.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, 4 touchdowns. Two
Oh,
of them going to Darius Slayton, who only had 2 catches on the day. But he had 50 yards, so if you play Darius Slayton.
How annoying for fantasy.
Oh, yeah, because there's no way you started Darius Slayton unless you absolutely had to, and then your week was saved by Darius Slayton if you did.
We talked about, do we start Darius Slayton? And I think we both like, yeah, probably not. There's so many other names.
There's Barkley, Tate, and Ingram, which all had decent days. Ingram had a touchdown, 4 catches for 40 yards. Golden Tate had 10 targets, 8 catches for 85 yards.
I just got Golden Tate.
Yeah, he's the main target for Daniel Jones, right? Minus not counting Barkley. Like out of the wide receiver tight end group,
the pass catchers.
Barkley had 10 targets himself, so
yeah, it's tough to just say absolutely yes, but it's trending that way for sure. We'll see what happens with Shepard back, but I think there'll be days where Ingram definitely overtakes Tate depending on the matchup. But Tate is just, he knows how to get open for every team he plays for.
Yeah, he's always open in that slot game. But Barkley, 19 carries, 64 yards, not anything crazy there, but he did have 8 catches for 70 yards and a receiving touchdown.
And he had a nutty run.
He's insane, so of course.
He broke like 2 tackles, and then this other guy tried to tackle him, and he legitimately.
Dude, there's only a handful of people that can truly tackle Saquon Barkley, and they probably need like another person to.
He's insane.
It'd probably take a whole person and a half. 1-on-1 in the open field, no one can tackle.
I don't know if anybody could.
Him and McCaffrey are I think the only 2 backs. You could put Zeke up there in the conversation. Open field, no, you're not gonna get No, you're screwed. You might as well just catch him. 1, you're not gonna catch him. 2, you're gonna get juked out of your shoes and look dumb on live TV.
Or you'll get run over and look even dumber.
See, I'd rather get juked out of my shoes than run over because I'm not gonna get absolutely destroyed.
You will physically get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, if you get juked out of your shoes, you might tear an ACL, but I think I'd rather do that than have just be sprawled out on the field with the eyes roll in the back of my head. Yeah.
There'd be a crater in the ground.
I mean, his thighs are as big as my torso, and he's got 2 of them.
I know.
It's insane.
2-2. Sorry.
World Series update, 2-2, thank God.
He hit it off the foul pole. Howie Kendrick.
He still plays baseball? All right.
Opposite field, yeah.
All right. Back to football. Jets and Jaguars. Minshew, another career game for a rookie quarterback, 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns going to DJ Chark, who had 12 targets for 6 receptions and 79 yards. Brady, want to talk about Leonard Fournette?
I love Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette, his first...
We need to change our name. FF Leonard Fournette.
See, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that if you go FF mashed potatoes. Chat, what do you guys think? Should he go FF mashed potatoes? He lost the poll on Twitter. So technically he's supposed to. But if he changes it to FF mashed potatoes, I'll change mine to FF Fournette. For no doubt, 100%.
I love him so much.
He had his first rush of the day went for 69 yards.
I know.
He had 6 the rest of the game.
No. So funny.
He had 18 carries for 6 yards the rest of the game. Absolutely hilarious.
He only needs
It's like the Tennessee game all over again, Brady.
I know. But the thing, he gets all of those touches, and he'll always. It seems like he just is gonna have 1 or 2, he just takes off for, and for whatever reason he can't outrun anybody anymore, like he could at LSU. And then
he had knee issues.
Gets 7 targets, 7 receptions, 60 yards receiving, and you're like, well, yeah,
season highs on all those.
He doesn't have to score.
Receptions, targets.
I think he scored once.
He's had 1 touchdown all season, and he's top 10 running back.
He's at 5. He's 5.
Yeah,
right
top
now.
5 running back.
He scored one time.
I didn't want to say top 5 and like be totally wrong. Like, oh no, he's only 8. I wasn't looking at it right now, so yeah, I went with top 10 to be safe because I knew he was there. But yeah. Anyways, Chris Conley, he showed up again like he did in week 1. I guess he shows up every 8 weeks. It's like it's like the groundhog that does the 2 more weeks of winter.
Yeah, I think if one of these Shark or Westbrook is out, I think Conley's a good serviceable start.
I agree. I think if Westbrook misses time, I think Conley is a very
should be rostered.
Should definitely be rostered for sure. But I think he's one of the sneaky starts going up into next week. We'll get into their matchups on Saturday, and we'll know more about Westbrook on Saturday as well. We don't expect DJ Chark to miss time. I don't
think
he
so.
left early, but I think it was precautionary because they were playing the Jets. Speaking of the Jets, Sam Darnold, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 INTs. That puts him at 7 in the last two games. Clearly still seeing ghosts.
What he's seeing.
He says it's ghosts.
The other team.
He's clearly not his team. He's clearly not seeing Lev Bell because he only had 3 receptions on 3 targets.
Yeah, they kind of went away from Bell here.
Yeah, Adam Gase needs to go. Oh my God.
The last time Adam Gase was any sort of football relevant was when he coached as the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears with Jay Cutler.
See, Jay Cutler was garbage. Like, come on.
The last time he was good.
And I don't know if you want to call that good. Like, the Bears were okay.
That was when the Bears' offense was actually good.
Yeah, but their defense sucked. Now it's flopped.
I know. We're back to regular Bears football.
Yeah, 7-9. Here we come. I called it, Brady.
You called it last year.
I called it at the beginning of this season. 7-9. Anyways, Bell only also had 9 carries. Nothing. Vomit is what we have on this one.
It was a bad week, but I think don't be sad about your Jets because they're about to play Miami Dolphins. They play Miami, the Giants, Washington, Oakland, Cincinnati, Miami. How beautiful.
Yeah. Speaking of the Jets, Robbie Anderson was also on the block. They were shopping him.
Yeah. Bell was too.
I mean, do you know who would be a really good, who needs a downfield threat? It'd be really good for their young quarterback.
Who?
The New York Jets. He's a perfect fit for the New York Jets. Except they don't throw him the ball. If they threw him the ball downfield,
I think it's a good game plan. Sounds like you're mad at the play calling and the guy in charge.
I'm a little mad at Adam Gase. I don't even have any Jets on my team. And we're back to Adam Gase.
So much.
Oh, it's so bad. All right, next game, Bengals-Rams. We talked about Andy Dalton, 329 and a touchdown, bench for next week. But Mixon looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, 3.9 yards a carry, so it's pretty. I mean, it's serviceable.
Almost a 4.
It's pretty serviceable.
He did have for a first down every drive.
Yep. He also had 4 catches for 11 yards and a touchdown.
A wide open touchdown.
Interesting.
Joe Mixon.
Tyler Eifert had his best game of the season, if not the last 3 seasons, I guess. 9 targets, 6 catches, 74 yards.
He was on the trade block.
Yeah, the Patriots were about to pick him up, and I got scared for a second.
I was like, wait.
When the Patriots trade for anyone, their fantasy value skyrockets.
Which is so weird because nobody on the Patriots is that amazing.
No, the offense is so bad. I was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, that offense is awful. Like, it really is. Like, they can't run the ball.
It's not great.
No, it's their defense. I saw a meme of it was what's the Ninja Turtle Kung Fu master's name?
I don't know. He's a rat.
Yeah, whatever his name is. But I saw him with like baby turtles. And it was like the Patriots 2000 to like 2015, and then it was like the grown up Ninja Turtles and like really old Tom Brady. Like 2015 to now, it's like their defense is just carrying them. That's what they're doing this year. Like their defense is, like we mentioned last week, they're in like top 10s of every position this season. But to the Rams, Jared Goff had another good day. The $110 million, 372 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Another streamable quarterback in a good matchup that we told you to stream. I think, or we didn't. I don't know. I would have told you to stream him.
Oh yeah, against the Bengals. Yeah, I'm surprised they only put up 24. To be honest with you, Todd Gurley had another week-saving touchdown. I don't.
Thanks, Todd Gurley.
Yeah, thanks for
making
screwing
us
my
all
week.
have a sour taste in our mouths.
Well,
Whether you play him or you have him, you're like frustrated because he keeps scoring to save his weeks. But if you have him, you're like, oh, thank God he scored. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Cooper Kupp continues his tremendous season.
Yeah,
7 catches on 10
player of the
targets.
year. Comeback player of the year.
Did he really miss that much time last year?
Well, he hurt his ACL or something.
Yeah, I mean that's a major injury to come back from and to have this good of a season for sure.
Yeah,
definitely in the conversation. I wouldn't put it past him. He's had a great season. Wide receiver 2 or 3, because I know Michael Thomas took that over this week. What?
I don't remember.
But
it's 2.
Yeah. So Braden Cook's left with another concussion. He is seeing a specialist about why he's getting so many concussions, which is probably worrying a lot of dynasty owners, Brady.
Yeah, he might not play anymore.
Yeah,
I would see if the news came out that said he can't play anymore, I wouldn't be surprised, which is really saddening, and I hope that's not the case. But if that's like I don't want him to put himself in a situation where he really gets hurt because it's been frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating for him, but
yeah. But Josh Reynolds stepped in, 89% of the snaps, 3 catches on 8 targets, which is a good number to see, for 73 yards and 1 of the touchdowns. So
yeah, I thought from what I saw with this when it happened in the Seahawks game, when Cooks went out, Everett stepped up, but now back to Reynolds. So I thought Everett would have more of a role here, but he didn't. So I'd keep an eye on Everett just because if Cooks misses extended time, Everett's I think actually going to get more targets than Reynolds. But this game kind of threw that in the water.
Yeah. Anyways, Bucks, Titans, Tannehill, real deal.
Well, I mean, it's not even 200 yards.
I mean, he had 193 yards. I was about to say that. Like, but he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's nice that they're using. They have good weapons in the red zone, and it's nice that Tannehill was able to use them. I know Jonnu Smith and AJ Brown's touchdowns are both in the red zone, and they're both big targets.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith had a good week for people that streamed him. And before someone types in the chat, we all know you streamed him, so you don't have to put it in chat. Mark.
He asked me if you should do it. He was like, should I start Jonnu Smith over Ertz? I'm like, yeah, do it.
That's ballsy.
I know.
That's
and he
ballsy.
did it.
People are like, what am I supposed to do with Ertz? Should I play Ertz or Goddard? You're like, no, you play Ertz. Like, you got to play Ertz. He's like top 5 in targets on like pass catchers since week 5.
He's still like the 7th best tight end. Fantasy production wise.
Yeah, he's been in the top 12 twice this week. Twice this season.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, for someone that was drafted in like the second to third round, like that's not what you want.
Yeah, you're not getting paid back what you paid for him, but he's still a top 10 tight end, which good, I guess.
Yeah. But the Bucks, I mean, Winston 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is probably one of the hardest quarterbacks to predict. Like you can't.
What you can predict is he'll be unpredictable.
Like he could get you 5 interceptions, but he also throw 2 touchdowns and 300 yards.
It seems he's going to throw the ball a lot, whether that's to the other team or his team. You're not 100% sure, but probability-wise, he's throwing it to his team more, which is thank God, because he throws it 50 times a game.
The Nats are winning 3-2, by the way.
Nice. It looks like this team is going to throw the ball because 1, their running backs are not great, and 2, they have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And as long as Winston keeps throwing over 300 yards and a few touchdowns, you are happy with at least Evans and Godwin. Probably not Winston, but it's okay. He's going to keep turning the ball over. He'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah. But, I mean, 200 yards of Evans or of Winston's 300 went to Michael Evans, who, again, I played this week.
Against a great defense.
Yeah. Like, the one time the Titans defense absolutely flops for me. I've been a believer of it since the Cleveland game.
That's
It
game 1.
didn't come through. And
Well,
somehow both Bucks wide receivers in the top 10. Like what is that?
I think the Titans still had a good defensive day because the
I mean, they
Bucks still
won.
turned the ball over a lot.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that just shows how interesting the Bucks. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
they're
say
just
it's just how Winston is. I'm not even gonna put it on Evans and Godwin. It's just
yeah.
how Winston is.
He's gonna. It looks like he's gonna throw the ball a lot. He's hopefully gonna throw some touchdowns, but he's gonna throw like 4 interceptions. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they could both finish in the top 10 easily.
I think
Both
so.
Godwin and Evans.
They keep having one. They go back on monster days, and that's what gets you to the top 10. Continuing to have monster days.
Yeah. All right, Eagles at Bills. Eagles pulled this one out, and by quite a big margin, 31-13.
What?
I mean, it wasn't a good day passing the ball for either team, really. I mean, Wentz had like 160 yards, and like it was such an odd game. Like I don't even
This game
have
was. I
Wentz's
kept
numbers
getting.
in here.
Yeah, I kept getting updates. I'm like, what is going on in the Eagles Bills game right
Yeah,
now?
it was so weird. Jordan Howard had 23 carries, 96 yards and a touchdown, 4.2 a carry, and
Pretty
he's
good.
and he's at 4.43 for the
Yeah.
entire season. The Bears regret
Yeah.
letting him go.
Probably. I mean, I guess Montgomery just had a big game, so today,
He's had the
this
one
week,
big
no.
game. That's the
I know.
one time.
This week they're like, don't regret it this week. Call us again next week.
I don't know. If they have Howard, maybe they win that game.
Yeah, I don't think that was. If we
No.
had Jake Elliott.
Yeah, Miles Sanders had another day, but it wasn't rushing. I think he had like 2 rushing attempts all game.
Yeah, and he's just said, "Screw you, Darren Sproles. I'm the pass catcher now."
Darren Sproles has been hurt.
I know.
We're not going to talk bad about Darren Sproles on the show. We can't do that.
But still, he's done well.
We don't do that on the show.
I'm saying Sanders has done well in the passing game.
Yes,
he's been
3 catches.
Big plays.
Yeah, big playability written all over Miles Sanders.
But he got hurt, so we got to kind of monitor his injury.
3 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown. We talked about Ertz. Goddard had another touchdown. Still playing Ertz over Goddard.
Yeah, nobody's guarding Goddard because they have all these other players, so they just keep throwing touchdowns to Goddard.
Josh Allen had only 169 yards, but he had the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, was the wind again.
Yeah,
weather was weird.
Yeah, John Brown had 8 targets. Beasley had 7. Brown had 5 for 54, which is underwhelming for my standards. I mean, the way some of like our friends talk about John Brown, it's like he's like the second coming. Like, no. Have you seen his quarterback? Like, Josh Allen's good, but he's not that good.
I know.
Like, John Brown could get open downfield, but Josh Allen's going to throw it 10 yards past him, probably. Just because he could throw it. Like, I love Josh Allen. I think he's great, but he's not the most accurate, and that's what hurts John Brown. Beasley had the one touchdown, or had one of the touchdowns, and then Singletary. Brady, I know you just traded him in Dynasty, which I was very surprised to see.
I'm happy to trade him.
Yeah, four receptions on 30 yards and one of the receiving touchdowns. Really ineffective on the ground, though, which is surprising. The Eagles' defense is tremendous on the ground.
Well, Singletary hasn't really been effective on the ground at all.
Yeah, he's been hurt. You got to give him that.
He's been hurt, but he also only gets no more than 10 touches a game, just about.
Well, when you have the infinite Frank Gore, like, who are you going to give the ball to?
Frank
Gore or Devin Singer? You're going to give the ball to Frank Gore because he gets the job done.
The news came out that the weather was bad, and I had Beasley. I was going to play Beasley, and then I didn't play Beasley.
See, I kept Beasley in. I was like, he's a PPR machine. I'll hope for a touchdown, and I got it. And I think I still lost. Anyways, Broncos at Colts. This is going to be a real short one. That's it. All right, Saints and Cardinals. There was literally, from that game, like, Jacoby Brissett, I think, was the top scorer, and he had 9 points. And we're not even going to, he had a rough game. Let's just go with that. Next game.
Wait, let the record show I played Freeman over Lindsey, and Lindsey outscored Freeman. So I've missed like every time.
every time. It's like it's like Fangio just sees Brady's fantasy team. He's like, which one is he starting this week? All right, Freeman. All right, Lindsey, you're the guy.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Cardinals at Saints. I want to start off by saying Alec was right. Insert mashed potatoes. You were wrong.
I was wrong.
You were very. I mean, I was wrong. I would say I was wrong when Kyler had his worst day as a professional. That didn't happen. But he wasn't good.
No.
He wasn't good. He had 220 yards. That's it. But he needs to be able to run the ball. Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought. He was going to be able to run the ball a little bit, but no.
yeah, he needs to be able to run the ball like 7 to 10 times a game. Like, he needs to have that kind of freedom. And I
Yeah,
don't
but
think Kirk is giving him that.
he needs to have like better design, not necessarily designed runs, but I think sometimes he just needs to like be an athlete. Like get the ball down, take the ball down, and go run while everybody's running routes. And I don't, he seems kind of afraid to do it almost. I'm kind of hoping he does, but didn't.
Yeah. Anyways, Breeze came back at 373 and 3 touchdowns.
Great.
He had the one interception, but still, Drew Brees is good. Latavius Murray, or as some people are now calling him, Latavius Money, 21 carries for 102 and a touchdown. Brady, that said you didn't like that nickname.
Well, no, I don't mind the nickname. The thing is, so if Murray got hurt, right, Kamara would never get this many touches. Or I think me and Mark actually talked about this. Kamara would never get this many touches. But Murray can hold up with this many touches in a game, and Kamara cannot.
Murray could be a 3-down back in a lot of teams.
It looks like, obviously, because he's doing it with the Saints.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if he wins, like, if he didn't have, I think he's on a 4-year contract or something. He's on a multi-year contract.
A multi-year contract, yeah.
It's like 3 or 4. But if he was on, if he was the starting running back of a team, like he was in Oakland and Minnesota, I think he'd be putting up these kind of number 12 targets through the air, 9 catches. I mean,
yeah, he'd be really good. But I mean, he made his choice, and it looks like the Saints might be going to a Super Bowl this year. So
yeah,
that really fault him for that.
That would make one of our friends very happy, and I think I'd be rooting for him in that one, unless they were playing the Chiefs somehow. But that would be a really good game. Chiefs Saints be a great Super Bowl.
Be an awesome game.
Michael Thomas, 11 targets, 11 catches, 112 yards and touchdown.
Best receiver in football.
He's the most consistent. He leads the league.
In my opinion, he's taken over Hopkins. It's like just flat out best receiver in football.
Yeah. He leads the league in catches by, I think, 13. 73 to 60 is the next guy. I don't know who the next guy is, but I was looking at it. And he leads in every category. Yards. He doesn't lead in touchdowns, but, I mean, we knew that.
His catch radius is nuts. He catches everything thrown his way.
For a guy that's 6'3", he's actually not as big as you'd think. With his,
he's
like,
a big 6'3".
He's a big 6'3", but his catch radius, it doesn't have to be, though. Like, Drew Brees puts it on him every time.
Yeah, but he makes some great catches. They're not like perfect throws, but if they're in his hand area, if in his catch radius, he's gonna catch it.
Yeah,
which is insane. It's his like target to catch rate ratio is actually nuts.
The thing about the Saints offense, you say, is like you throw it to him, he'll catch it. It's like, but you don't have to throw it up to him. You don't have to. He gets open.
Yeah, he does.
He could do it if he needs to, but he doesn't have to because
he's a great route runner. He's in an offense that fits his skill set.
That's perfect. They know how to draft receivers. That's all I know.
They know how to draft any offensive player. Look at Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara was a 3rd-round pick.
Good God.
All right, next game, Panthers, 49ers. 49ers pounded the Panthers 51-13. The only one that did anything for the Panthers was the immortal Christian McCaffrey. This was an awful matchup for running backs, and Christian McCaffrey still managed 14 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown. He only had 5 targets through the air, though. Like, that's not enough for Christian McCaffrey.
No, he's got to touch the ball more than that.
He's got to touch the ball more than 18 times.
18 times? No, I need 25.
25 plus, and that's a lot to ask. But that guy is
but
their
they're
offense.
Not going to win if
they're not going to win if they don't. Exactly. It's like either you need to get that guy some help, or give him the ball more. I mean, he's been healthy for the majority of his career. I think he missed a couple games in his rookie season.
49ers defense played really well.
Yeah, 49ers.
7 sacks and 3 picks.
Yeah. For the 49ers, they ran the ball pretty well. Tevin Coleman.
I think they did all right.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Tevin Coleman had 3 touchdowns.
Coleman did okay.
He had 4 touchdowns total.
Rushing touchdowns.
He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He also had a receiving touchdown as well.
He's a beast. Good game for him.
Yeah.
It's not going to replicate, but
no, I don't think that'll happen.
The Niners run offense, like as a whole, blocking, play calling,
so good.
It is elite.
Yeah.
No, 100 yards and a touchdown or 2 is not out of the question.
The issue with it is who's it going to be? Because one week it could be Breida, one week it could be Coleman.
Could be Breida,
I mean, both Mostert and Breida are both questionable for this game come Thursday.
So it might be more of a
tomorrow.
Coleman
So it might be
game.
more of a Coleman show. But Jeff Wilson might be activated, and if it's a goal line, you saw when Coleman was out, it was all Jeff Wilson on the goal line.
Ugh.
So you don't even
Jeff
who
Snipes him.
knows? Yeah, Jeff Wilson out of UNT. Mark didn't even know that. He goes there. He didn't even know that. I knew that one, and he didn't know that one. Anyways, Raiders Texans.
The Raiders.
Both
Actually, I almost
QBs.
pulled this out.
Yeah, they're on the road in Houston. Derek Carr played well, 258 and 3 touchdowns. But Watkins bested him. 3 touchdowns of his own for 279. He also ran the ball. He ran the ball 10 times. You don't see Watson run the ball very much, and he did in this one, which was great to see, I think.
For fantasy, yeah, it's 4.6 free points. I mean, they're both top 10 plays, which
both top 10 quarterbacks this week. Yeah,
I guess we kind of
thought. Yeah, Watson was number 1, 27.8 points. It's on the list. I have it listed up here.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, Jacobs, as I predicted, did not have a good day. 15 for 66. 2 catches and 2 targets, just 10 points. You're not mad about it, but it's not great.
You wanted him to score.
Yeah. The one thing the Texans did lose in this one was J.J. Watt for the rest of the season, so that defense kind of takes a huge hit, especially in that run defense. That run defense could take a huge hit from that one. So, whoever they've got next coming up, look at their running backs. They might. Come week 10, you might be like, who's the running back going against the Texans?
Who's playing the Texans?
Hopkins, no touchdowns, but he had 11 catches for 109 yards.
13 targets.
13 targets. Good news for Hopkins. 2 back-to-back good weeks. Hunter Renfrow found the end zone.
On one play.
Yep, well, that's what you expect. Come on. This is Tyrell Williams.
This is Tyrell, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Had 3 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown on 6 targets. I didn't think he was going to be able to do anything. He really didn't. He just had the touchdown and a big play or 2.
He had 6 targets. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, Waller had his worst game he had the touchdown. But he had 8 targets, only 2 receptions for 11 yards. So the touchdown kind of helped. PPR, that's 6, 8, 9 points.
18. For who? Waller?
Yeah.
It's 9 something. Yeah. Sorry. I was talking about Williams.
Yeah. Darren Fells still looking like a startable tight end. I mean, 6 catches, 58 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
He's a streamable tight targets. End. Yeah, it's 6 for 6. So.
They seem to like him, and he gets thrown the ball.
Dude, he is not. He's not young.
He isn't.
He's 32, 33 years old. Yeah.
Good old. Oh yeah, I think I saw something about that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he was in Cleveland for a while. I know that. So.
He's 33.
33. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of the Browns, they took on the Patriots in New England.
Did they?
I mean, they put up 13 points. It's more than they've done all season. Not true. But the receivers did okay for the Browns. Jarvis Landry 5 for 65.
They both got 10-ish points. They both got above 10. So you're
happy with that with Landry, but OBJ you're expecting at least the 15 plus, even though he's struggling.
They're playing the Patriots.
And they're playing the Patriots,
so
you kind of I mean, I sat OBJ this week just because they were playing the Patriots. I wasn't wrong with who I started. Thank God. I would have hurt myself if not OBJ physically, but if OBJ had a big day as the Patriots of all teams. And I would have won my game. I would have been like, you got to be kidding me. Come on. I literally played the matchup in this one, and I'd lost it. Nick Chubb, 10.8 points.
A lot of volume, though.
20 carries for 131 yards. Still looking good. I mean, did that against the Patriots. That's great numbers.
That's really good.
The 2 fumbles really hurt him, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Mohamed Sanu, we talked about him on Saturday. He only had 2 catches for 23 yards. Nothing crazy there.
So far.
White had another 10-point week. You almost call that automatic for James White at this point.
No, it is automatic.
Yeah.
It's not almost. He has scored between 11 points and 14 points in every week he's played.
Yeah, and he would have had it in week 3 if he didn't have that.
He actually played.
If he didn't have that dang kid. No,
that is
I'm kidding.
Insane.
No, that's insane.
His numbers are sitting between 11 and 14 every week. That's insane.
Yeah.
No variation.
Yeah.
Love to
Another
see
good day for Edelman. He had 2 touchdowns, 8 catches, 78 yards on 11 targets. So looks
Yeah.
like Edelman's.
I mean, he's the best pass catcher on the Patriots. The most consistent.
Well,
It's the one you can trust.
yeah, yeah. I didn't see N'Keal Harry in this game. Did he play?
I don't
Tommy,
think
let me know if he
so.
played. He's on your team. But let's get to the next game. Let's get into him. Packers and Chiefs, Sunday night game, interesting one. Game of the Aarons.
Not in for any snaps.
Oh, Aaron Jones. I was like, who's the other Aaron? Aaron
Hello?
Jones. I was like, Aaron Murray's not the quarterback at Kansas City, Brady. Come on. He's not the quarterback there anymore. No, Aaron Jones. I was like, what? Hold up. I think I read game like the Aaron's like facing off. I think that's how I like mentally saw it. So I was like,
they were
what?
facing off.
I was like, what? Anyways, Aaron Rodgers had 305 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not surprising against the Chiefs' weak secondary. Also ran the ball 6 times.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's a really good improviser. He's one of the most underrated improvisers, I think. People don't talk about that one enough. Aaron Jones, 68 yards rushing, but his production was through the air.
159 yards receiving.
7 catches and 159 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Jamal Williams also had a touchdown in this one. Those were the 3 touchdowns went to their running backs through the air.
Yeah, I know. It was really
Aaron Jones, number 1 running back, as you guys see on the screen. No receivers had above 10 points for the Packers.
Yeah, because it all went to the running backs.
Yeah. Matt Moore still a solid fill-in start. Nothing crazy there. I think he had 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. One to Kelsey, one to Hardman.
Yeah, thank God Kelsey had a touchdown this week.
The thing with Moore having a solid start meant their receivers had okay. Hill had over 10 points, Hardman over 10 points because he scored. Watkins over 10 points, Kelsey over 10 points, and he also scored. So it's like, honestly, that was pretty good for.
But just it's way better with Pat.
Yeah, it's a lot better with Pat, but at least it's not like.
At least it's not. Yeah.
Him.
You were like, oh, there goes the KC pass catchers. No, Matt Moore's doing a fine job in the one game he's played, but.
Yeah, I think he only plays 1 too.
Yeah, I think Pat's scheduled to come back week 10.
Pat wants to be back.
Yeah, well, he's a football player. He's there for the team. So,
yeah.
But the one issue is the Kansas City running backs. Yikes! So I mean, Damon Williams did have his touchdown on seven carries. McCoy had 9 carries.
Damian Williams, but he didn't catch a ball. That was a big thing. It's like, well, Damian is not in there to catch the ball. I mean,
McCoy had 4 of them though. That's what's on his 4 targets.
But then he fumbled, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah. Interesting one. Interesting. I mean, rest of season, the Kansas City backfield is so iffy to me.
Yeah, I don't know who you want. I think McCoy.
I would go with McCoy just because of the targets, the receiving targets.
Yeah.
And he out snapped Williams. He had more rushes than Williams. He had more targets than Williams. The fumble, that's gonna happen. Like
Yeah, it will. But like the last 4 weeks, McCoy's played not over 10 points. Some of it's due to injury and stuff, but it's not over 10 points. Never above 50% snap count. He has never been above 50%. He was at 50 once. That just doesn't get it done for fantasy, at least. Yeah, no. He's still pretty good as a football player, obviously, but for fantasy, does not get it done.
Okay, so Damon Williams is available in Dynasty right now.
Damon?
Yeah.
In Dynasty.
No, this is a hypothetical.
Yeah.
How much fab are you spending on him?
$5.
I'd say 50. I'll have to go with 50.
Really? I hate you.
You bought it. You bought it. That's a little joke. Chris paid $50, half of his fab budget for Damon Williams at the start of the season. Before the season started. I mean, his outlook looked good. He's the Kansas City running back. Like,
I know.
But then McCoy came in and just screwed everything up. The LaShawn McCoy signing screwed everybody. Which is good. I mean, LaShawn McCoy's a good running back. He's had a good career.
Yeah, he's good when he gets in space, and he has that with Kansas City. So that's the other reason. Like I think you'd want McCoy, but the numbers don't tell you should have McCoy.
Yeah. All right, Monday night game: Dolphins into Pittsburgh taking on the Steelers. 27-14. Hey, the Dolphins scored. They know how to cross the goal line. They did it twice in this one.
In the first quarter.
Against a pretty decent defense.
Yeah, in the first quarter.
Yeah, in the first quarter. Which means they had the lead, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, in the first quarter.
I unfortunately missed this one as well. They had the lead at one point.
They were
Fitzmagic's.
winning. They were winning 14-0, and then it was 27-14.
Yeah. Connor had another good day, 23 for 145 and a touchdown. He did leave early due to injury, which is odd. I think all three of
No.
their.
It's not odd. That is what he does every game.
What I was getting to with it was odd. I said it in reverse order by mistake. What's odd is all three of their running backs are listed as questionable.
Oh, okay.
Jalen Samuels is listed as questionable. They expect him to play.
Yep.
Connor's questionable, and Benny Snell. He smells questionable.
He smells questionable.
Juju had a good day. Finally, 5 catches for 103 on 9 targets. That target number is kind
It
of
was an awesome catch.
Is a confidence booster for
Yeah.
For owners. I thought he was a good start for this week, and I was right. But some people didn't start him.
It was against
Mark.
It was
Didn't
against Miami.
It was, and that's why I thought he was a good start. It's a good bounce back game for him finally.
Hopefully that continues, but it was against Miami. So
the other receiver, Deontay Johnson.
He seems pretty solid.
5 catches, 84 and a touchdown on 7 targets. I was looking at the I was researching for the for our top rookie performances of halfway through the season, and he's the third receiver. The third highest in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He's in that
Yeah, he's up there.
He's up there with McLaurin.
And Marquise? Or Metcalf?
I think it's Metcalf. Yeah, Metcalf. It's got to be Metcalf because Marquise has been out a couple weeks, so it must be Metcalf. But he's looking like a good future player. For the Dolphins, Mark Walton
is the starter.
He's the starting running back in Miami now that they sent off Kenyon Drake.
His volume looked decent.
Yeah.
11 rushes, 3 catches on 6 targets. So that's actually 6 targets is nice for a running back.
Yeah.
He only had 40, 50 yards this game total. So hopefully that goes up. But in terms of volume, that holds a lot of fantasy value.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
For someone who's probably really cheap.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can depending on how the size of your league, Mark Walton probably isn't a must. He isn't a must start.
But he's for sure rosterable.
He's a starting running back in the NFL, so
yeah. So if anything happens down the stretch and you need to start somebody, especially at the running back position, Walton's not the worst.
Yeah, next week I'm probably going to play Kenyon Drake because both my running backs are on bye.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Fournette and Michelle both on the week 10 buys.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. And so is James White, obviously, since he plays with Michelle.
Oh, he does?
Yep, he does, if you didn't know that. Devontae Parker, he should be rostered as long as Fitzmagic is the quarterback.
Yeah.
If it's Rosen, I wouldn't have him on my team.
Yeah, he seems to be doing well with Fitzmagic.
Yeah, 8 targets, 6 catches. So that's good to see from Parker.
Some people like Preston Williams more, but I think it's Parker. I think Parker's the better of the two at the moment.
Preston Williams is good. I really like Preston Williams, but Devontae Parker has shown really good promise this season.
Some chemistry
in such a bad offense, like Devontae Parker's looked good. Him and Williams have been the bright spots.
Yes, they have.
That's been good. All right, but that's the Week 8 rewind. We'll get into the mid-season fantasy MVPs. We're gonna start with Brennan since his wasn't here. We don't have a lot of stats on this one, but we talk about him all the time, especially Brennan, and that's Austin Hooper. Obviously, the number 1 tight end in fantasy right now. He was drafted I think Brennan drafted him in the 9th round.
Yeah,
very super low. Brennan's steal of the draft. He's been saying that all season. Of course, we don't have any. We don't have a stat for Austin Hooper, but you guys probably could have projected that one.
He keeps scoring. He consistently gets at least 50 yards on 5 targets, and a lot of times he's had a few 100-yard games. So yeah, he's warranted his number 1 spot, obviously, but really good. He's done awesome.
In a team that only has 1 win.
I know. Still can't believe it.
Yeah, insane. Brady, who's your mid-season fantasy MVP?
Mine is DJ Chark. He has been a touchdown machine. He has some great chemistry with Minshew. And, he was the one who caught the touchdown for Nick Foles when he got hurt as well. So I think he would have still been used with Foles. He has 61 targets, 660 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's at wide receiver 5 at the moment. I don't think he really was drafted at all in
No.
terms of fantasy. So if you picked him up, he has literally been winning you games. Like after your draft, you were able to pick up the wide receiver 5 at this point. That's pretty nuts when you think about it.
His ADP was 149, Brady,
Oh, good
which
God.
means he was not being drafted unless you went into the 15th round at least.
He's only been below 10 points in 2 games, but he has 5 games above 15. Another, like I said, a weak winner. Uh, I don't. The thing is, like, if or when if Foles comes back, uh, does it continue with Foles? Um, he maybe might not be able to keep number 5, but at least for the first half of the season, he's been your MVP, or he's definitely been winning you games, and I think he stays at least above 15, maybe top 10, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, 4-2 Nats, by the
Not
way.
much.
All right, on to my midseason MVP. Mine's a little bit of a much more known guy going into the season. Mine's Russell Wilson. He's, I mean, he's averaging 22.9 fantasy points per game. He's got 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, and just 1 interception this season. It also includes 182 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. Currently quarterback 2 on the season. I don't remember who was behind him though, or who's in front of him. Who's at the QB1 spot? I can't remember who it is.
Watson?
It might be Watson. I think it is Watson. But Russell Wilson was a guy being drafted in the 7th to 9th rounds in a lot of
Yeah,
redraft leagues,
it is.
looking like an all-time fantasy sleeper among late round quarterbacks. People suspected Seattle to be a run-heavy offense, and they still are. They only pass the ball 51.6% of the time, which is 4th lowest in the NFL. But it's still an increase from last year. Last year it was at 47.6. He's on pace for 500 pass attempts this season, which is way up. I say way up, but this doesn't sound like it's way up. But for pass attempts, last season he threw 427 times. This season I think he's on pace for 504. But I could see that being closer to the 550 mark when they start playing their
Better
division.
teams.
Start playing because they still have to play the 49ers twice. They got to play the Rams again. They got to play some teams that they're going to have to pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And the San Francisco matchups are going to be real tough.
Yes, sir, they
real
are.
tough. But yeah, those are our mid-season fantasy MVPs. Now to our top rookie performances. Brady and Brennan are sharing one because there hasn't really been a lot of rookies.
There really hasn't.
So it's kind of
not in the first part of the season.
Minus Minshew is not a part of this. Minshew would be Brennan's, but we're gonna mix him up with Brady.
Okay. The thing with the rookies too, and we've talked about it. It's like the first half of the season, rookies aren't necessarily great. You wait for the next half. But the ones who have shined in the first half, mine is Josh Jacobs, and it's one of those things like this is kind of what we expected, and it's nice to see him being used as we expected. He's the workload. He's carrying the workload in Oakland. He's at running back 16. He has 124 attempts, 620 yards, only 4 touchdowns, 13 targets with 11 receptions and 102 receiving yards. Hopefully, I think for me, we were hoping to see a little bit more of the targets, but in terms of rushing, he really is dominating Oakland and by far. The thing that's kind of odd, it's not in all the time. He's at 50 to 55% in snap percentage ish. But it kind of has been dependent on who's like if Oakland's losing or winning, and if they're winning, they're running the crap out of Josh Jacobs, which is awesome. He's only been below 4 yards per carry in the first game he played, and he is getting about 2 to 3 targets a game. And the nice part about his strong start is, well, not necessarily strong start, but relatively good start, is there are good matchups going forward where Oakland should be ahead. They're not great run defenses, and he's passes by. So hopefully, along with him being a rookie and hopefully being like we said, better in the back half, his back half has better matchups. So really nice. Hopefully that's what you see from him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's almost averaged 5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
so far this in his rookie season, which is insane.
Very efficient.
You wish he was getting a little bit more targets though in the passing game.
Yeah, more targets, a little bit more higher on a snap percentage, but at least he's been efficient.
He's been very efficient with his snap percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, 620 rushing yards. Obviously, I think he's 5th in the NFL in rushing, if I remember it correctly.
Might be.
5th in the NFL in rushing, which is crazy for a running back, rookie running back. I mean, not in recent years. I mean, you saw guys like Kareem Hunt and Zeke Elliott in the rookie season lead the league in rushing. But
He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. He's 6.
Still really good.
Yep, just behind Chris Carson.
Yeah, you didn't expect Josh Jacobs to be near the top 5 in rushing yards this season. But a lot of running backs have also underwhelmed. Like, I'm pretty sure Zeke doesn't have as many yards.
No, he is not. And then Barkley's been hurt.
Been hurt. Yeah, I mean, top 10, I could see it cracking it, but I think he definitely finishes in the top 10 with his good start. Anyways, my top rookie performances, you guys probably could have guessed this one. It's Terry McLaurin. Funny enough, Brady, me and Brennan went to our card store and opened a box of cards, and we got a signed Terry McLaurin card. It was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, we opened it, and the store offered to buy it from us, and I had to say no, just because I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Anyways, he has 28 catches on 46 targets so far this season for 458 yards and 5 touchdowns, leading all rookie receivers in receptions, yards per game, touchdowns, and most receptions over 20 yards, averaging 15 fantasy points per game and 10 yards per receptions, which is outstanding for someone that went undrafted in almost all redraft leagues and somehow falling in the late 5th round of our own dynasty draft. I don't know how that happened. I mean, it cost me a 3rd round pick, but because I didn't draft him like an idiot, like I wanted to. I was hoping he'd come back to me in the 6th, and then Windsor scooped him up. I'm like, Windsor did that a couple times in that draft, but
he did.
Not only if he could get a quarterback who can competently throw him the football, he could finish as a top 20 receiver this year. But
he could, but here comes Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, Haskins the starter. He's not NFL ready. He's suspected to get his first NFL start this year.
I'll say it. The Washington Redskins aren't NFL ready.
Terry McLaurin's NFL ready.
As a whole, that franchise is not NFL ready.
Dan Snyder can't run a Pee-wee team.
A lot to do with the ownership.
Worst owner in sports.
And so, dude, Trent Williams didn't even want to play. Put on his helmet, said, "Ow, ow, ow, this hurts," and so he failed a physical.
It's because his head's too big. Who fails a physical because their head's too big?
Yeah, he did it on purpose. He
Duh.
didn't want to play.
Duh. But now he gets paid because he's reported.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for our show. We do have our giveaway to announce, and our winner, let me pull it up. I don't want to mispronounce it, or if I mispronounce it, I am very sorry if I do, is Miles Fomby. You'll be messaged on Twitter. I think we have you on.
Yeah, Twitter probably.
We'll get that. We'll get all your stuff for you so we can get you that mini helmet of your choice. But we will be doing other giveaways. We'll probably do one more before the end of the season, maybe. It just kind of depends on, what we're feeling, what you guys think.
Yeah.
But don't forget to follow us on Twitter, where you'll see those giveaways at MadmenFF. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/FFMadmen, and like our page on Facebook to see more information on those. And if you guys want to support the show, you guys are more than welcome to do that. It's not required, but there's a link below our Twitch channel that you can do that at. Really simple, and it doesn't. I mean, everything goes back to you guys. So the more support we give for you guys, the more giveaways we do. Obviously, we're not just asking for money for income, because we obviously have jobs. We only do this twice a week. We know this isn't going to be a paid gig for us. We do this because we love to talk fantasy football. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for our show. We will see you guys on Saturday. Brady, anything last words?
I had mashed potatoes for dinner today.
Nice! Mashed potatoes. little cannibalism, though, but it's a little scary. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys hanging out. Again, sorry about the late showtime start. We'll be back to normal time on Saturday and next Wednesday. So we will see you guys on Saturday. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Bye-bye.